This is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardines, to use this as an educational material.
For today is Manfred's ideology of globalization. So, according to him, there is three parts of globalization. These are the process, condition, and ideology. Process. It is a set of processes of economic, social, cultural, technological, or institution that contribute to societies and individuals' relationships worldwide. So, in order for the views or the vision of globalization to be realized, several fields of the country or the society must improve. So the first improvement that must be met is the economic growth of a country. So for economy of a country to grow, the country must revise or made more regulations, laws that could help improve or sustain growth of their economy. Because if one's country's economy is stagnant, they cannot realize the vision or the goal of globalization. So a country must focus on exporting instead of importing goods or in services, because imports usually is a sign that one's country's economy is weak. So next one is social. So the government and the people of one's country must establish social relationship with other country, because this relationship could usher faster improvement and faster addressing in one's country's problems, such as I have mentioned earlier, the economic growth and some internal struggles of a country. Then next is cultural. So if we want to globalization to be an ideology, cultural exchange must be encouraged by the people and by the government, because exchanging belief, practices, tradition from country to country could lead into more and effective solution in addressing one's problem. Technological. So we all know that technology helps humans to be more efficient and be more convenient for us to live in this world. So technological exchange is also encouraged between country to country, so that because technological exchange could help other fields of society to improve. So as for, just like the improvement in farming technology, the tractors are getting more bigger and sophisticated, and in the fields of medicine, it become more the medicine is become more effective in combating diseases, and as we experience and currently the pandemic, if without the technological advancement of some developed countries, we could still be in online classes. And lastly is the institution. So aside from other fields in society, the government itself must strive for improvement, and if the government improve, the other fields of society might improve as well. So next one is condition. This doing everything to improve the working condition faced by workers by offering mechanism and such more. So as I have mentioned earlier, the technological exchange could usher faster improvement on one's economy. So if the working class receive much sophisticated equipment, hard drives and hard drives such as as I have mentioned earlier, the tractors in farming industry, better equipment for manufacturing medicines for medical fields, then the economy of one's country could improve as well. So because globalization is all about interconnectedness of things. So the last one is ideology. It endeavors a concept of globalism with a particular concept or value, a form of social or political philosophy of ideology in which practical elements are once prominent as theoretical ones. So as of this moment, globalization is not yet officially known as an ideology, because according to Michael Friedens, it is far too early to pronounce globalization as ideology, since as humans still have issues that needed to be addressed. Much importantly, our greediness. So we all know that globalization wants everyone to improve, have a better way of life. But as we take on the existing ideology in our society, such as capitalism and communism, in capitalism, only 1% of the society is benefited, and the communism is proven to be not as effective as capitalism, because as we viewed in the history, the Soviet Union collapsed due to its ideology, which is communism. So that is all for me. Next presenter, please.
So good day, my topic is Michael Frieden's sentiment. So Michael Frieden argues convincingly that the current fragmentation of established ideologies and the divide the uncertainty of the concerning whether the ideologies still exist have highlighted to the difficulty of capturing the changing morphologies of political belief system. British political theorists propose two fertile lines of inquiry. First, to question the implied holism in the notion of ideological family. So the first line of inquiry involves the critically examining the implied assumption of holism within the concept of an ideological family. So this means questioning the idea that ideologies are internally exclusive and unfelt belief system. Instead, it encourages us to investigate whether the ideologies might be more fragmented, diverse, or internally contradictory than the traditional thought. By doing so, we aim to better understand whether the notion of ideological family are currently represent the complexity of contemporary political beliefs. So second, to carry the dominant the conviction of classifying and categorizing ideologies with a view to establishing the degree to which they constitute useful clusters. So the second line of inquiry focus on the convention of methods used to classify and categorize ideologies. So it suggests that we shall revelate the traditional ways in which ideologies have been clustered and labeled. So the goal is to determine the extent to which is the conventional classification are still relevant, useful, and capturing the diversity, nuance, and political truths today.
So, examining the first line of inquiry more closely, Frieden briefly discusses globalism as a possible holistic contender, but quickly retreats to the skeptical view that it's far too early to pronounce on globalism status and ideology. So, it means that in this passage, Frieden briefly considers globalism as a potential holistic contender but remains skeptical, stating that it's premature to definitively categorize it is an ideology. So, first, it wisely reminds students of ideology that political belief systems are ephemeral constellations, was shifting morphologies demand periodic scholarly assessments. So, it means that Certainly, this passage wisely highlights the ever-changing nature of political belief system, emphasizing the needs of scholars to periodically reassess and analyze their involving structures. So the second one is it is the challenge 21st century analysis of ideology to reappraise antiquated, popular, and conventional classification system that might obscure more than they illuminate. So it means that the passage also challenges 21st century analysis of ideology to reconsider outdated, popular, and conventional classification system, or it is a suggesting that this system could be potentially hinder understanding more than they help.
So the study of ideologies of Michael Freden. It is clearly organized. It expounds on the changing nature of the subdiscipline. So his recommendation or recommends imaginative thought experience with the aim of providing insight into some organization features that according to ideologies reclarification design based on select features of human behavior like pride, fears, gregariousness, and the fourth is complacency, and the fifth is insubordinate, especially for the self depreciation. So it components and methods of investigation and elaboration of thematic possibilities in current ideologies studies, and represent the most developed and productive methodological approach to the study of ideologies in the last 3 decades. So the way that the methodological, it is the method or the way for what did you deliver for someone. So that is the methodological, and by Freden present the ideologies studies as involving the vibrant fields and encountering the surmounting and a series of challenge in its successful path towards the recognition as a legitimate and respect branch of political theory. So the percent of ideology study as a surmounting series of challenge it's successful towards the legitimate and respect branch of political theory. So the of this study will be able to have a particular purpose of the political theory.
Napadurai's contribution discusses how globalization is not a single, homogeneous process but is shaped by various ideologies and flows. He highlights the importance of 5 dimensions, which is ethnoscapes, global mobility of people, technoscapes, movement of technology, financescapes, flow of capital, mediascapes, global media networks, and ideoscapes, transnational ideologies. Apaduras argues that these dimensions interact and influence one another. Creating a complex global landscape, he emphasizes that understanding these dynamics is crucial for comprehending the multifaceted nature of globalization and its impact on societies and cultures worldwide. Next is the escape of globalization. Apadura escape theory proposes that globalization is driven by the interconnectedness and flow of five distinct scapes. The scape influence and shape one another as cultures intersect and overlap globally. The theory highlights the multi-directional nature of cultural homogenization. Anthropologist Arjuna Paduria discussed this in terms of five specific scapes or flows, which is these ethnoscapes, technoscapes, ideascapes, financescapes, and mediascapes. Thinking of globalization in terms of the people, things, and ideas that flow across national boundaries is a productive framework for understanding the shifting social landscapes in which contemporary people are often embedded in their daily lives. Questions about where people migrate, their reasons for migration, the pace at which they travel, the ways their lives change as a result of their travels, and how their original communities change can all be addressed within this framework. Questions about goods and ideas that travel without the accompaniment of human agents can also be answered using Apadura's notion of scapes.
So the first scape of Apadura's five scape of globalization is ethnoscape. Ethnoscape refers to the flow of people across boundaries while people such as labor migrants or refugees travel out necessity or in search of better opportunities for themselves and their families. Leisure travelers are also part of the scape. It means or what we also know here in the Philippines as a OFW, in search for a better life abroad so that they can give their families a better life, good money. And the second one is the financescape. It is a term for the different forms of capital and the movement of this capital across the world. Forms of capital and how they might move include cash, electronic cash via personal or bank transfers, stocks or via stock exchanges, or forex. They control this is the flow of money, and Bitcoin is also an example of financescapes.
Good day. Today I will discuss one of the Aphrodite of globalization, which is the ideoscape. What is ideoscape? Ideoscape refers to the flow of ideas. This can be small scale, such as an individual posting her or his personal views on Facebook for public consumption, or it can be larger and more systematic. Ideoscape kay flow of ideas or spread of ideas. It means if mag-post ka sa Facebook, so di ba ang Facebook kay daghan man og user, so ang imong gi-post kay ma-spread na siya to the other user. Missionaries provide a key example. Christian missionary to the Amazon region made it their explicit goal to spread their religious doctrines as the experiences of missionary turn. Anthropologist Daniel Everett show, however, local people do not necessarily interpret the ideas they are brought in the way a missionary expect.
Technoscope refers to the flow of technology. It's a term often used in the field of cultural studies to describe the technological landscape or environment of a particular society or time period. It refers to the overall presence and impact of technology, including things like the internet, smartphones, and other digital movements. Technoscope has some key concepts. One of these is global technological landscape. Technoscope refers to the ever-evolving landscape of technology in a global state. It encompasses the rapid movement of information, technology, and media across between culture. One of the key concepts is fluid and dynamic. The key concept of this technoscope is that technology is not static but constantly changing. It includes the spread of innovative like smartphones, the internet, social media, and other technological development that shape our contemporary world. Another is impact on culture. This technoscope influences how people communicate, consume media, and engage with information. It has a profound impact on culture, social interaction, and the way societies function. Another one is challenges and opportunities. While the technoscope offers opportunities for communication, innovation, and economic development, it also presents challenges related to privacy, security, and digital divide. Overall, the term technoscope describes the global and dynamic nature of technology and profound impact on culture, societies, and interaction in our contemporary world. It's a key concept in understanding how technology and innovation that shape our modern way of life. Mediascape. As part of his broader theory and global cultural flows and role of media in shaping contemporary culture, Mediascope refers to the landscape of images, sound, and information created by the various media technologies and circulated globally. It encompasses the idea that media such as television, film, and internet, and print media play a visual role in shaping and perception of the world and influencing cultural exchange on global scale. Key points about Mediascope concept. One of these is global flow and images and information. Apadurai argues that in our increasingly interconnected world, media technologies facilitate the movement of cultural images, ideas, and information across borders. This results in the creation of the global Mediascope where people from different cultures engage with shared media content. Another key concept of Mediascope is hybridity and diversity. Mediascope are not uniform. They are marked by a diversity of cultural influences and hybrid forms. Different cultures interact and remix elements of various media to create unique expressions. The next one is media as agents of cultural change. Apadurai suggests that the media technologies are not passive conveyors of information but active agents in actual change. They can challenge traditional norms and beliefs and contribute to cultural shift. Another key concept is deterritorialization. Mediascope transcend geographically boundaries, allowing people to instantaneously. This deterritorialization can both enrich and complicate cultural experiences. In overall, Arjun Apadurai concept of Mediascope uncovers the transformative role of media in globalization, culture, and formation of contemporary identities.